Today's guest launched a product that stalled out for a while. It wasn't growing as fast as he would like, and that story may sound familiar to some of you. Then it clicked. He discovered a single change, a single trigger that made all the difference, and now his business is growing rapidly on an entirely new trajectory.
Are you looking for new ways to make your sales grow? You've tried other podcasts, but they don't seem to know. Harvest the growth potential of your product or service as we share stories and strategies that'll make your competitors nervous. Now, here's the host of the Harvest Growth Podcast, John LeClaire.
Welcome back to the show. I am really excited to be speaking with Jairo Zeitel today. Now, he's a good friend, but also the founder of InviNutri. We're going to talk about his line of products that is so unique and fascinating what he's been able to do here. I got to start off, though, by introducing Jairo. He is from my favorite country. Now, I love America. I'm born and raised here, but I lived a couple years in Brazil, as much of my audience knows. And Jairo is from São Paulo, Brazil,
Yes.
but now lives in America. Has been here for how long, Jairo?
28 years now.
28 years? It's quite a long time. But a history. You'll notice his accent, which I know I love. It feels like home to me.
Mm-hmm.
I really miss my time in Brazil. And other than to start off by saying boa tarde, which means good afternoon for our audience,
Boa
I'll probably
tarde.
stop it there because I'm sure Jairo will correct the rest of my Portuguese, which is unfortunately not stayed with me as well as it should. But great to have you on the show, Jairo,
Sure.
today. Super
Thank
excited.
you for having me.
Of course. And we'll get on beyond just Brazil. Let's talk about your product. So
Yes.
InviNutri, tell us about what is InviNutri? What does it do?
Okay, basically InviNutri is a mix of several foods, dehydrated foods in a powdered form, extremely nutritive. And why is that? A big part of it is made of microgreens, which they have up to 40 times more nutrients and 100 times more phytonutrients. Phytonutrients have medicinal value of veggies, fruits and veggies. Mostly any plant has the phytonutrients, and they're very important for our health. So InviNutri is a powder you sprinkle into the food and you increase the nutritional value of the food. Today, we have a big competitor that we call the junk food industry. They're good food, cheap food, easy to eat, everybody loves it, but they're kind of empty in terms of nutrition. So the idea is, how can you increase the nutritional value of those foods without changing the food? You know, you love to eat a burger, but everybody said, no, you have to eat a bowl of salad. You have to eat nutritional food. How about both? Get the burger, sprinkle InviNutri, and you have the same nutrition as the burger plus a superfood bowl of food. That's the idea. We're working on a tagline that says, transform ordinary food into extraordinary nutrition, invisibly, effortlessly, and instantly. Because the only thing you have to do is click it, sprinkle, mix on the food, and in most food, it disappears. So if you are a picky eater or a person who doesn't like veggies, doesn't like fruits, doesn't like bitter stuff, or whatever it is, you love mac and cheese, just sprinkle into mac and cheese, and you have the most nutritious mac and cheese ever. That's the concept of the product. The difference, I'm going to tell you a little bit, the difference of other, I would say, competitors. For example, vitamins. Vitamins are mostly made of synthetic or chemicals, and they're cheap. So your body doesn't know how to deal with those chemicals, but your body really knows how to deal with real food. And it absorbs much better, and it's incredible how we can see with a short time changes, especially in kids that don't eat anything that's healthy. They change. They change their life. They change their energy. I have customers telling us about the skin tone. You know, kids that go from gray to pink, dark eyes. They have like circles on the dark eyes. After a couple of months, disappeared. Or kids that were always sick. I received an email from a customer saying, "Hey, my kid was a kid always sick, always, all the time he was sick. Since we start with the InviNutri powder, he's not sick anymore." That's crazy. I'm not saying this is gonna solve everything. You know, we have in our story, we started this product with our grandkids. They didn't eat anything healthy. So that's about how we come up with the idea, and I'm gonna tell you a little more about it. But we saw they changed it. They changed their energy. They want to play now. Where they used to be. One of my grandkids, we gave him a nickname. He was a nah guy. Everything we asked him. Do you want to go out and bike? Nah. Do you want to play? Nah. Do you want to do this? Nah. It was like this, And after a couple of months, he's doing karate, he's doing soccer, Brazilian, we love soccer, and he stays outside all the time with the neighbors, with the kids, and it's a different kid. It's a different kid. And it makes us believe, really seriously believe on this product.
I love it. It's, I'm a personal user of it as well. I can speak to my own personal experience. For those who aren't watching the video, you can see me when you come and watch the video, hopefully on YouTube, how small this is. And this is essentially, I think, a 1 month supply, generally speaking, right? Like, it's you just sprinkle a little bit on, but it lasts quite a while. But it's tiny, easy to take with you. I want to mention a couple of things to dive a little deeper on what you brought up. One is, to me, I feel like I just completed another podcast, which our audience probably heard a few days ago it was a skin product, right? And talking about, this is kind of the year of health, 2025. I feel like there's so much discussion on getting chemicals out, whether it's skincare in their instance or in our diet, right? And I've listened to a bunch of podcasts over the last, a few months or whatever. And I'm like, I need to change, what I eat. I need to eat better. I need to have more vitamins and nutrients naturally, right? Not chemicals, as you said, right? From pills, et cetera. But it's hard to do. It's, yes, I should eat organic. I should have fruits, a lot more fruits and vegetables throughout the day, but it's difficult. And that's what I love about InviNutri is it makes it easy. I can have my diet, and yes, I should still cut back on the number of burgers I eat, that kind of thing, right? But it can it gets me the positive nutrients at least. Like, working out the negatives is a whole different conversation, but getting the positives in your body, I think in a unique way is certainly a unique opportunity.
It's a game changer. Especially because you don't have to really change what you eat. You have to reduce the bad things, but your body knows what is a good nutrient. Your body used it. The problem is the lack of it when you don't have it. So you struggle.
So let's talk about the size a little bit. You mentioned briefly micronutrients, or microgreens rather. So how they're 40 times the nutrients versus mature plants. And that's, in layman's terms, that's why a small bottle, imagine this 40 times the size, like if you get like one of those big jars of greens from the health food store, from the grocery store, those are not microgreens, right? So this gets you benefits.
It's easy.
Yes.
It's easy to understand. Something like this, right? And the problem is, basic difference is, this is the serving size for a regular veggie fruit powder. And this is the serving size of InviNutri. So if you put a scoop like this in a mac and cheese of a kid, it's going to be green. It's going to have all the flavors and tastes and that the kids, or I would say the picky eaters, not only kids, but mostly kids, but every person who has problems with food, this tastes like the real salad. And this, when you mix on the food, you don't even realize. That's where we come up with the name. InviNutri means invisible nutrition. You just add nutrition and it gets invisible. It's not all the foods. We have a customer complaining. They put it on milk, regular white milk. And she saw, oh, we got a little greenish. It happens. If you sprinkle InviNutri on top of French fries, you're going to see the powder. It's not 100% invisible. But if you sprinkle in a pizza under the cheese, on a tomato sauce, even on a ketchup, what we do with our kids, they love French fries with ketchup. Awesome. We mix on the ketchup. They don't know it's there. And they eat it. They eat it a lot. They eat everything on every food possible we can imagine. One of my customers told me the kid eats only chocolate ice cream. And they mix on the chocolate ice cream. I said, I never thought about it because it's sweet. My kids like vanilla ice cream. And I said, maybe on the vanilla, very white, it changed a little bit the color, but the amount is so little. It's so little. And I would say this amount may have the same nutrition or better because of the microgreens than this amount.
And for our listeners that might not see that in video, I think the scoop for a regular greens bottle is probably what, a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons? What do you think that is? Something like that. But it's
2
and then
at least.
Yes. And what's the size of your cup officially?
It's 1/10 of a tablespoon or 1/4 of a teaspoon. So
it's tiny.
1/10.
Yeah.
1/10. It's 20 times less than this.
Which makes it usable, like the big greens, maybe in a smoothie, but what else can you put that on? You really can't, as you said, this can be combined. You don't have to have just a smoothie every day. You can combine it with anything you eat, whether it's French fries or hopefully something healthier in our diet.
Yes, anything.
Let's talk about the business side now. So it's interesting. I think over time you've learned and repositioned the product. So can you talk about where you started and where you are now in terms of who your audience is?
Yes. Okay, when we started, the whole concept was a nutritional boost for picky eaters, right? We tried to focus on a niche. We could, for example, replace vitamins, a lot of vitamins. I was a vitaminaholic. I stopped it. I use this. And one thing about we were talking about the serving size. You could use the small scoop, but you can sprinkle everywhere during your day. So a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. This is real food, right? So there's no perfectly serving, and there's no limits. You can eat as much as you want. It's like a bowl of superfood salads, right? So we focus on the picky eater, and in the beginning, sales were very, very slow. And I start thinking about what's going on here. Why so slow? Why they're not buying? And I hired a lady to work on our Amazon listing. And she told me, Jairo, you should try this. This is an excellent product for special need kids. I said, I don't know anything about special need kids. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to communicate to them, how to talk to them. And she said, don't worry, you hire me to do that. And my son has ASD. He's autist. He's 6 years old. He eats since 1 pizza, French fries, and hard candies. For 5 years, that's the only thing he ate. And then you come up with me, you hire me to do this. Guy, it's every day on his pizza. Every day. Now he's eating a lot of nutrition. He's changing. She was like crazy about the product. So I said, I'm not sure about going this positioning for special needs or autists, but let me think about it. And then we changed part of the listing to more oriented to more health oriented, not only just complete the picky eaters food, but much more kids or people with health problems. And then sales started to grow. And even we in our webpage, in our Amazon, there's a kid with muffles on the ears. It's her kid. She said, I understand about it, and I think you have a genius product. Okay, so we've been developing, and we found out that the picky eaters are mostly everyone. Everyone, especially kids today. They're difficult, they're complicated. I've seen families with 3 kids, and the parents go, hey, what do you want to eat now? One want to eat pasta, the other one wants chicken nuggets, the other one. So my time, whatever you have, it's what you have. You eat it or you don't. Today is a little different. It's different the way they talk to the kids, they care of the kids. And it's complicated because kind of kid doesn't want to eat, don't. Until they start getting sick. They start having problems with their health. Anyway, the other thing is picky eaters are a huge market. And it's difficult to talk to them. How am I going to communicate? How am I going to... doesn't exist a picky eaters association in America or a group for picky eaters and all this stuff. It's difficult. And so after some time, I studying, talking to mentors. I love study stuff. I study all the time, nonstop. I have 5 different degrees and a master degree. So it's all keep going, don't stop. And what I found out is the regular picky eater market, they're not that worried about their kids. The parents, or what we call the caretakers, because a picky eater could be a kid or could be a senior. So if you eat a little bit of that, they think they're going to grow. And then we found out in this market, our competitors are gummy vitamins. They cost $9 a big bottle. It's super cheap. So they give them gummies to the kids and said, my kid is okay. My kid is okay. And so I don't want to compare, I would say, a very high-end product, 100% natural, no chemicals, no with using microgreens, which is very, very expensive. And they don't care much. So we did a change in our positioning. So now we are selling to caretakers. And this is a question we're still working on, because the caretaker has some type of burnout. The kids has problems, other problems, if there's special needs or whatever it is. But if they don't get the nutrition, everything gets worse. And you can talk to them into eating some food. You cannot say, hey, if you don't eat your dessert, I'll take out your tablet. You're not going to watch TV. It doesn't work. And the kid is having health problems. So we have 2 problems here. One is the caretaker having burnout, stress, going crazy, doesn't know what else to do. And on the other side, you have a kid or an adult or a senior starting to or already having problems. They're having health problems. A lot of reviews we have is my kid had problems of this, a problem with health. This is amazing. It changed the picky eaters' life and health, but it changes the caretaker as well. So we chose to concentrate in a specific niche, which is real problem, real pain point. In marketing, we talk about the pain points. It's a real pain. It's a real pain for the caretaker and the picky eater. So that's why we've been changing, and we've been having a lot of success on this. A lot of success because people say, hey, now I got something that works. And that's what we called it, invisibly, effortlessly, and instantly. Because, the kid eats mac and cheese. That's it. No problem. Sprinkle on the mac and cheese, mix it, boom, gone. It's solved in an instant. And what we found out is the caretaker with burnout, she or he will start having problems with the relationship. You tried, and the burnout come from the kid sick. You go to the grocery store, you buy, you choose, get healthy food. You bring home, you prepare, you cook it. Whatever you do, you mix in the food, and you put in front of the kid, they don't eat. Nah. It's like my grandkid. Nah. There's nothing you can do. So they try going to doctors. Doctors know about medicines. They don't know about nutrition. You go to a nutritionist. The nutritionist said, no, the kid needs to eat more good, healthy food. So let's give him broccoli, spinach, kale, radish. Forget it. My grandkid, for example, if we buy a pizza and he eats pizza and has a tomato slice in the middle, you need to cut it out. Cut it out from the whole pizza, and then you can serve a slice to him. He won't eat. He won't eat. So when you are picky eater, or what we call extreme picky eater, that's our market. That's when they need this, because he's not going to change his food. Not in the short term. Maybe you grew up, I was a picky eater, and I start eating better when I start dating. You go out with a date, right? And you
Sure.
say, no, I'm not going to eat this. No, I'm not going to eat that. No, I don't. I have to. So I start eating. So you change it. But right now, you have a problem, you have a pain point, mostly two pain points, one for the caretaker and one for the loved one. They need better nutrition, natural, no chemicals, things that really work. Really, that's the thing. It really works, and it's changing our company's life. The way we talk to people, the way that we interact with people, the feedbacks we're getting, it's amazing. Even though I say you like it, I like it too. It's an amazing product, but it's still difficult for them to perceive the value because it's extremely expensive. Thinking about gummies or regular vitamins or even regular green powders, right? Then you make a green shake, chug it, you get it. If you have to eat salad, you will eat salad, but not all the good stuff that our body needs.
Yeah, well said. And as you mentioned, you and I like it. We may not be the perfect target market, but I do want to reiterate one thing you said is getting down to finding out who the audience is, what their real pain point is, can make all the difference. As you talked about, it changed the trajectory of your business. And I think our audience needs to hear that is everybody in their business, you may have the perfect product, but you want to also make sure you connect that product with the audience that is going to most value it, that will buy most quickly and most inexpensively, most efficiently. That's how you grow your marketing and really further grow your business.
Yes. And when you grow, you have scale economy, you have volume, and then I can make it cheaper. Of course, I can make it cheaper, but right now it's kind of almost handmade. We plant and we produce. We have a vertical farm where we plant all the microgreens, and it's organically, it's hydroponic, no pesticide, no chemicals, no nothing. So it's handmade, practically handmade, each one of the bottles. Okay, with a lot of volume, it's going to be different. Even though planting and farming microgreens is going to be all the same, but you can scale, you can grow up, you can, and then we reduce the costs.
Exactly. Well, Jairo, this has been a lot of fun. I do want to encourage our audience, please go check out InviNutri.com to learn more about Jairo and his business and his great product. It's InviNutri, InviNutri.com. And for our audience, I also want to mention, did you know you can meet with a member of my team absolutely free for a 30-minute strategy consultation? We've launched and grown hundreds of products since 2007 and learned some of our strategies while growing OxyClean back in the Billy Mays days. We're here to help. So please go to harvestgrowth.com and set up a call if you'd like to discuss further.